rumors of Pant leaving DC are over.
Consider me as retired despite all the IPL fuss, or is it still definitely not on the cards?
The rumors of Pant leaving DC are over, but what about the rest four?
You might just see Cameron Green being the costliest retained player in this auction.
Punjab may want to retain Sam Curran, but what will happen being Ricky Ponting as a Aussie head coach? Will he consider that?
Pat Cummins, Travis Head, or Henrik Klassen. Who should I give the highest purse to?
My defending champion skipper Shreyas Iyer, will he now be an uncapped player?
A lot of questions needs to be answered, ladies and gentlemen, I must tell you. But welcome to yet another retention rules policy. Season number 18 is on the cards, and Fifth Empire once again is ready for another blockbuster season. We are ready. Just like I still have 5 more people alongside me. We're talking about what happened 24 hours before at the IPL auction and its rules were announced. In case you missed it, definitely go have a look. Here are the rules of the IPL auction. And there you go. I believe, ladies and gentlemen, you have got all the heads up you need when it comes to a cracking season coming up in season number 18 of the IPL auction 2025. It's going to be held later in the year. We have a deadline on the cards as well on the 31st of October. A lot of things to discuss. A lot of guests I have on stage. 5 of us all are there. In total, including me, there is 6. One shot of Thala for a reason. But yes, we are all here out here discussing a lot of stuffs, but we have to start proceedings with the defending champions, with the team that lifted the trophy in 2024. It's the Kolkata Knight Riders, and I have with me none other than its guest, its diehard fan, Orko with me. Orko, welcome to the show. As you know, once again part of this one blockbuster of an IPL season coming up. First of all, tell me, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Is it a fine thing? What are you when it comes to Kolkata Knight Riders? If you're given the hat of the management, are you satisfied with the rules that have been taken out for the Kolkata Knight Riders?
Well, satisfied is not the kind of word I think the management would want to use right now, because no team wants to lose the kind of combination they just had after such a wonderful season. But that being said, that's the rule of the IPL and that's how it works. And change being the only constant, I think that's something they need to accept sooner than later. And I think the bosses will be doing a good job to make sure that happens.
Absolutely. Bosses will be doing that, make it happen. You still have to get your head coach done and dusted, to be honest. You have got a mentor. You've got everything sorted. But what about your picks? What about my picks? Let's take a look into the retentions made by Orko and me for the Kolkata Knight Riders. So here it goes, Orko. You have made the same pick as I have made. Shall I say it about you first? Because you should have made the right picks. But explain through the process about your 5 choices that I've made. You've gone with all 5 to West Indian, which are no-brainers. I'll start proceedings with them. Were they no-brainers despite the price bracket you have been given for?
Well, I think for KKR, legacy is a big thing, and I think these two have been those pillars. If you associate Gautam Gambhir in one way, you associate the same, if not more, with Narayan and Russell. So I think as long as they are in cricket playing ability or cricket playing terms, I think KKR would never look beyond them unless they themselves decide to hang up their boots in this particular tournament. So I think it was a no-brainer, and I think when you try to retain them, KKR doesn't really look at the price bracket. They just look at the fact that they have these two and they'll continue to stay the way they are.
Absolutely. But you definitely had an issue, a headache on the cards when it comes to the uncapped player. And what would it be? Because now you have a slot of 5+1, 6-0. You cannot take as many as you want, but there is a minimum bracket now. You've got your skipper, who's an uncapped player as well. Does it surprise you?
It certainly does, because as we all know that the rules do sound a bit ambiguous in terms of its vocabulary. But if you look at it currently, it doesn't have any clarification that came just yet. So if you look at it in that way, I think Shreyas would still be an uncapped retention. But if they change it sooner than later, then obviously the entire equation changes. And there are a lot of ifs and buts, not just for KKR, but for all teams. But as of now, I think they would look to make him an uncapped retention, but again, he needs to agree for that price bracket and a lot of things to be negotiated as well. And also the fact that other players are also vying for that spot. So it will be a tricky thing to look.
Absolutely. It will be definitely a tricky thing because last year you had a lot of youngsters playing. I would like to know the reason where you left out somebody like an Ankush Raghuvanshi, Harshid Rana. Are they one of the cards for you in the right to match? Similarly, without a doubt, as you said at the beginning of the show, price tag is not a problem. Lord Ninku, just a batter, just a finisher. He's there in your retain, just like mine. But number 5 is where I want to ask you. I've gone with Varun Chakrabarti because he is a special person in the KKR family. Last year it was Phil Salt who played a blistering season. The reasons why you have not gone with Phil Salt, not gone with the 2 uncapped players of Harshid Rana and Ankush Raghuvanshi.
Well, I think what Varun provides is something that you wouldn't get a lot in most teams or in plenty in the auction per se, because if you look at the current Indian spinners, you might probably say someone like Chahal, Ashwin, or maybe Aksar and Kuldeep are the ones who you can think of apart from Varun. But all of them would be most likely retained. And when Varun has done so well in this season, he's been almost a purple cap winning bowler. I don't think that they look beyond him. And even in the past, they retained him. So he's going to stay. And if you look at why I didn't mention Phil Salt, it's because you prefer to take players who give you skill sets that you don't usually get. But with Phil Salt, you can obviously get other keepers also. There are plenty of keepers in the auction, maybe someone like Rickleton or Ben Duckett or even Quinton de Kock or Bairstow. So it's not that Salt provides you something that others don't. So I think that's why they may not retain Salt in spite of that season. Maybe look to buy him back, or even if they don't, they have other options available as well in the auction.
100%. There are a lot of options to look into, but I would like, as you have absolutely nailed and explained all the 5 players you have picked, and similarly I've gone with the same as well, so it's a coincidence for both of us. But I would like to bring on the rest of the 4 guests as well into the show, and I would want to know, first of all, with all 4 of you, starting with Rohan, are you agreeing with the picks? Are they no-brainers?
I will definitely agree, because, as you said, Salt skill set is quite common in these days. You can easily get back anyone of the same kinds. But Varun Chakravarti is a fabulous spinner. He's been recently selected for the Indian team as well for the T20 versus Bangladesh. So I think it's a good pick for them, because he has complemented Narayan equally, being the mystery spinner, and all others, as you said. Shreyas is still not sure how it will be decided, but I'm not sure about the uncapped thing. He's a quality player, and the salary cap will come in definitely.
Yeah.
So I think he should be a capped guy. The rest, Nara and Dreras, are legends for KKR and always will be on the cards, man.
100%. I'll ask Varun a short question, just like one of the fan has. Is Narayan an uncapped player just like MS Dhoni is? Unfortunately not. It's just for the Indian players only. Narayan is a capped player. Narayan is considered as a capped player. It's Shreyas Iyer who is probably in the picks of Orko as the uncapped player. Should that be allowed for a Narayan as well, Varun?
If the rule says if you didn't play any cricket for 5 years, I think it should be applicable for any countryman, in my opinion, at least.
Absolutely.
But if it's just for Indians and if BCCI made that rule, we can't really go against it, can we? So maybe they might just change it. They bought in all these new rules now. Who says they won't change it later on? So yeah, we just have to wait.
Okay, so you're waiting. I think more or less it's done and dusted. Any questions for both of you, Gurpalji or Deepu? Anyone?
I guess I'm pretty happy with the retentions what Arco has said, and being the thing he has said about the West Indian stars, Sunil Narayana and Russell, both are the pillars, and KKR used to carry their legacy as well. But my only question is, by retaining all the five players and keeping only one RTM option, could may get a bit of problem for KKR when coming to mega auction with less purse and only one RTM. And
Yeah,
Shreyas
that's
Iyer
true.
thing.
That's true that because you're picking five players, you just have one retention, one right to match card. And Orko, as you have picked Shreyas Iyer as your uncapped, probably you can pick an capped player in the auction. So you know what needs to be done in the auction. So fair enough. Orko, thank you for explaining the Kolkata Knight Riders, and thank you to the rest of the four. We move on to the next team. That is going to be the Punjab Kings. And this team, I think, requested not to have any retentions. They wanted to go all in for the mega auction. I have Gurpal Paji for this one. Gurpal Paji, the Punjab Kings, what are your thoughts? Are they the happiest to see as many least retentions possible? Can they go all guns blazing?
I guess they're on the right track. They have already changed their management as usual. What they do in 1 year or 2 years time, but this time they have done in only in the 1 year. Like Bangar is not there, Real Palace is not there. They have gone for Ricky Ponting, which I was guessing Ricky Ponting will definitely go to Punjab if not anywhere. And knowing Ricky Ponting is a world class player, he himself has three World Cups under his belt, and the way he has worked with Delhi as well. So he's a very shrewd player, shrewd cricketer, shrewd winner. Being an Aussie, we all know what he can bring to the table for Punjab Kings, and he would ideally like to build his own team and new team that you can see.
Okay, it's a new team you're expecting. It's a fresh team you're expecting. Might be a mixture of youth and experience. But what about your picks? What about my picks when it comes to the Punjab Kings? Let's have a look. All right, Paji. So here it is. You have gone with just two players. I've gone with four. I can speak a little bit later. You've gone with two. The reasons behind only two. You completely won with the all-in budget. Moving on to the auction.
The main reason is my owner is a female and she loves to shop. She wants to have a good purse in her bank so that you can shop. And as I told you, Ricky Ponting, new head coach, new philosophy. He might want to build a new team. And being he
Mhm.
from Delhi Capitals, so he will be interested what Delhi Capital will be releasing. He will be having an eye on those players, Delhi players as well, the Aussies players like JFM and other players. That's why I picked Ashdeep was no brainer for me. Highest wicket taker in the World Cup. He has always had a good IPL. He performs very well for Punjab. A bowler for him giving that much being a number one pick is was a no brainer for me. Ashdeep. Second was Shashank Singh because I could have gone for Ashutosh as well, but Shashank has already played couple of seasons with
Mhm.
Punjab as well as with RCB. So we know what he brings to the table. More experience, more exposure. So that is
Mhm.
why I opted for Shashank. Maybe if
Mhm.
Ashutosh should have played more season, I would have gone for Ashutosh as well. But I would love to give Pity Zinta at least 100 crores going into auction.
So is it? Do you really think it's going to be Pretty Zinta who's strategizing instead of Ricky Ponting? I'll ask the guests the other questions because I want to bring in the rest of the four of you as well. Gurpalji has picked only two, and that's where I come to you, Deepu. Just two players for the Punjab Kings. Are you surprised? Are you going lower than that? Are you going with zero retentions?
Not surprised to be honest, because we know what Punjab does after every auction, or whether the mega auction comes up. It's them who make the auction also look entertaining, and otherwise a boring auction to be honest. What we have seen in the many auctions previously, so yeah, not really surprised.
Not really surprised. Orko, are you surprised, or did you expect a little bit more? Did you expect somebody like a Liam Livingston on the cards?
Well, perhaps, especially if you look at his recent form, then maybe. But that being said, I think given the recent form that they had as a team, I think they would want to look at newer recruits. And with the coach being a completely different mindset altogether, I think he may have his own preferences. And because it's a mega auction, you'll have a lot of options to look at. So that is why maybe they may go for this very strategy or maybe retain lower than this number as well.
Okay, so when you are going with lower down the order as well, it's possible. Or Rohan, Varun, any questions? Anything you want to add on?
Honestly, so in my list, my two retentions were Shashank and Ashutosh.
Okay.
I didn't pick Arshdeep because if he was the first retention, he would go for 18 crores, right? And I don't think he's a 18 crore player. Maybe if you kept him in the auction, you would have gotten him for maybe 8, 10, 12 type of range, right? And I don't think, personally, I wouldn't put 18 crores on him just yet.
Similarly, are you that's the reason why you're not gone with somebody like a Liam Livingston and Sam Curran as well?
Right.
Because Sam Curran was similar price tag last season.
Right. So my ideology is basically um, the overseas all rounders and the overseas bowlers, they don't go for much if you compare them with the Indian fast
Hmm.
bowlers or all rounders in especially mega auctions. So when talking about this, I don't think Liam Livingston is either worth 18, 14, or 11. He'd come for much cheaper in my opinion. So that's
Okay.
why I just picked two uncapped players for Punjab.
Okay, so you've gone with just two, and you've gone with both of them being uncapped. So just 8 crores you're spending. Rohan, any add-ons for you when it comes to the Punjab
I'm
Kings?
surprised that they needed someone like a Sam Curran, is what I feel. They need a leadership group to be available during the auction. He has led them pretty well when Shikhar wasn't available for them in the back half of the last IPL. I think someone like Curran being there in the complete leadership group and knowing the structure how Punjab Kings operate, I think someone like Sam Curran retention can be very useful for them.
Okay, fair enough. But there comes before we move on to the next team, Deepu has a pointer. Deepu, over to you.
Well, I think Sam Curran, obviously there is a choice, but I feel in terms of availability with these English players, what the first that they have been making in the recent past, they'll sign up for the auction, but they'll just just before the auction, 10 days before the auction, they'll just say we are injured or we are not coming due to mental health or whatever the reason is. So I feel it's
Absolutely.
better that Punjab goes for uncapped players or rather retain Arshdeep and can take Shashank. What exactly what Paji has done. So I believe it's better that new foreigners should come in Punjab.
Okay, but I think now the players will think twice before they do this, because as Rohan's favorite word I come into, back spasm might be one of the things which can be considered. But Varun, to you, do you think now the players will think twice before they do this?
Now, isn't there a rule which says if you don't play, if you're back out, you're suspended for 2 seasons?
For
So
two
players like
seasons, yeah,
2 seasons.
absolutely.
So now players like Pat Cummins, Mitchell Stark, and all of these English players, they should at least think twice before they do something now. Especially Jason Roy. I'm just pointing at him. Jason Roy, that player, man. He always quits when the season is about to start. Now it's not gonna happen. If he wants to play, he'll sign up for the auction or not. He just goes home and sits.
Even Alex
Okay,
But
so
Sales.
fair.
Uttam, I have just one doubt in that rule. What if somebody has a genuine injury? Can you
Mhm.
ban him for 2 years just because he is injured at the wrong time, playing for his country
Right.
or whatever? If it's a pull out because of what do you call mental health issues and all those, that I can agree. But if it's a genuine injury, how do you make up for that?
Yeah, if it's a genuine injury, just like we do in localities, give the prescription and then show a proof, then only I think that the BCCI might just allow you. Yes, Gurpal Paji, before we move on to the next team, over to you for one final time.
I just want to add couple of things or couple of replies to Varun and Rohan. Rohan, for the injury, I guess there is a rule you can replace the injured player up to you can watch and see him up to 12 league games. After 12 league games, you can replace the injured player if there are injury concern. That's a reply to injury concern thing. And to Varun and other representatives, like my option was to pick Arshdeep. Was He's a World Cup winner, highest wicket taker in T20 eyes in power play. He's a death bowler, and now he can tong some sixes as well. We know his batting skills. He can play how he can play. So that was the reason for having Arshdeep. Shashank, he could play in the middle order. He could be a finisher as well. I was thinking about Livingstone, but I want to give Priti Zinta enough purse, I mean, so that Ricky Pont, so calls will be made by Ricky Ponting. Priti Zinta will only put the pedal up. So that is why we wanted. I wanted to give them 100 crore purse at least, because then I'm having four RTMs as well, na? So two are the retention. I am have the thing of luxury of using four RTMs as well. So nothing harm in this. And for the captaincy thing of Sam Curran, we may see Steven Smith as a captain for Punjab.
Anything can be possible because it's an Aussie who is a
Yeah,
coach. We might have a lot of things to discuss, and if we discuss about just one team, we might just miss out on the remaining eight, to
yeah.
be honest. But we are done with the Punjab Kings. Moving on to next team, just like Punjab Kings have not won the IPL even once, and that's the Delhi Capitals. I bring in Deepu into the show. Deepu, Delhi Capitals. Whenever I ask you about Delhi Capitals, you have a smile on your face, then you stop after three seconds, and then you think you haven't won a trophy. What you need to do? What's the plan for you? Do you think when it comes to this retention policy, just like Kolkata, just like Mumbai Indians, Delhi has one of the easiest picks?
Yeah, I mean that's a great feeling to be honest. Despite not winning the trophy, finishing sixth in the points table, we are happy, knowing the fact that we know our players at whom we are going to retain. So, yeah, it's a great pool to be have to be honest.
Fair enough, but let's have to see what you have picked. Let me see what I have picked as well. Here are the retention picks for the Delhi Capitals. So it's a no-brainer, I must tell you, for both of us, because both of us gone with the same. And that's the reason why I must tell you, both of us are Delhi Capitals fans as well. Uncapped player Abhishek Porel, no Jake Fraser McGurk. Explain me the reason behind.
I was in a pickle to be honest. As to who should I go with, JFM or Porel? But still, I think I had to trust my gut to be honest with JFM. Not in the best of forms, he can come back, but still, I feel Porel is someone who can give us the keeping option in case there is something with Rishabh Pant. We need to have that replacement ready. Just like we had him in last season. So I think Porel was a better option. Comparing with JFM, we can get someone better, or maybe an experienced opener that we need very badly.
Okay, so you're saying that you have got your bases covered in the retentions. You might see somebody like a JFM or somebody else in the auctions because you have got one retention card on your sleeves as well. We'll
Yeah.
talk about them, but let's bring in the four of the others as well. Because Delhi Capitals, I think it was a no-brainer to be honest. But starting with you, Orko, is it a wise pick to pick uncapped player and Abhishek Porel in that?
Absolutely. I think that's what they have been grooming him for. And he gives multiple skill sets as well. He's not just a batter. He can even give you a good amount of keeping. And when they have shown so much trust on him, maybe they believe that he can be like a Rinku kind of long term prospect, fine for them. So I think backing him would only make sense. And preferring him over a JFM is obviously wonderful because you do get a lot of batters like JFM, if not better, in terms of experience and consistency in a mega auction. So I think they don't need to worry about missing him out just yet.
Okay, so you're saying they don't need to worry about that. Talking to another Delhi Capitals fan out here, Gurpalji, are you agreeing with the same as well?
Not so much because what I have
Okay.
done in my mind, I will go for Rishabh Pant, Akshay Patel, Abhishek Porel uncapped, and Rasik Dhar uncapped. Four players and
Okay.
two RTMs. Two RTMs I can use for Stubbs and JFL probably. So this will
So you've
have
gone
give
with
you a good
somebody
pulse
like a
as well.
Rasik Dar, completely out of the box, I must tell you. And thoughts on this, Rohan? Because he's gone with somebody that doesn't have much experience, played a good cameo the last season. Do you want to go for somebody like him as a 4 crore when you know he might just be a little bit cheaper in the category C or category D? Might be a bargain at 50 lakhs, maybe.
Definitely, I mean, a seam bowler of Indian this thing. I think for the kind of skill set that he has, I don't think fourth crore is worth to be keeping him as a retention. You can definitely get him for a cheaper thing, less than 1 crore for sure. But I was very surprised with Deepu's where JFM wasn't told there because someone who has been used to the Kotla conditions has hit them out of the park easy and has developed a good opening partnership there as well. Porel has done impressively too, but JFM I think will give that little extra X factor for them being an overseas pro. I think irrespective of the form that he is in. I think that's in different kind of format altogether and different conditions. I think the IPL on a flatter pitch at the Kodla, I think he'll be devastating.
Similarly, I'm asking you another counter question. Do you think Mukesh Kumar will find a new IPL team now?
I think I will go for Mukesh, where it definitely seems around a little bit more. Maybe a KKR kind of a condition will be suitable for him, because he's a local guy there too. Another Shami kind of
There
will make.
goes the smile on Orko's face as well. I was watching, to be very honest. But yes, Mukesh
But
Kumar,
I'll be
as you
happy
were saying,
wherever
I'm sorry
Mukesh
to
goes, and he's
interrupt.
good enough.
Okay, fair enough. Now he's got another competitor in the Bengal team, Rakasdeep, who was part of the Royal Challenge Bangalore. Varun, any add-ons for you for the Delhi Capitals?
No, I think I pretty much agree with that. I didn't have Fraser McGurk in my retentions as well. He's not worth 18, 11, or 14 anyway. He can come for much, much cheaper. A young, he's overseas,
Okay.
right? The part is overseas and they'll come for much more cheaper. So, yeah, I think it's pretty good. All fire. Okay.
Okay, so he has gone with overseas. He's gone with an Australian, much more cheaper, he says, not 18 crores. And that's where I'll come to him now, because it's time for the Sunrisers Hyderabad. And I'll ask him what I asked him to do at the beginning of the show as well. Sunrisers Hyderabad, Varun, please come to the show, and I'll give you three options: Travis Head,
Yeah.
Pat Cummins, Henrik Klassen. None of them are Indians. You said not 18 crores for Jake Fraser McGurk. What is your price tag for these three players?
That's the issue that I was looking at as well. I never expected the prices to be so high. I understood, where the purse became huge. Now it's 120, right? But I just didn't expect these kind of digits for the retentions. But when you have those kind of numbers, I guess you just have to go with them, and you also have to retain your core, right? So I put Pat Cummins at 18. I put Travis Head at 14, and then fourth and fifth retentions are 18 and 14, right? So put Heinrich
Correct.
Klassen at 18.
So okay, we'll just see that in brief once again. So let's take a look into the Varun and mine picks for the Sunrisers Hyderabad. So you've gone with more or less the same, Varun, I must tell you, because Travis said Pat Cummins, Henrik Klassen, Abhishek Sharma, Nitish Kumar Reddy. It's the same for both of us. So I think it's a no-brainer, because the time when you were announced, BCCI announced that no limit for
Yeah.
overseas or Indian, I think that was icing on the cake for somebody like you.
I mean, yeah, it was perfect. I think that's what Kavya Maran really fighted for as well. She fighted for like 7 to 8 retentions with KKR in Mumbai, and then she wanted
So you said
unlimited.
7 to 8 retentions she
Yes, so
fought
that's what
for
three teams
in
asked.
the meeting. Can you tell us
Right.
how long did she fight for as well?
Geez, man, it's not a movie. I can't really tell. So but again, yeah, she did ask for no limit on overseas players, right? And it's Kavya's rule. She got it.
Okay.
Okay. So now we can retain how many ever overseas players we want, and that's where class in Pat comes and head comes in. So SRH fans, they don't have any more trouble in the mind. So it's all good for
But
us.
is Nitish Kumar Reddy a player to watch out for in the next generation?
I hope he does stay uncapped. It's a bit silly, but he's been selected for the T20I squad, right? But see, if he does get a game, wishing him all the best. But if he stays uncapped, we know who's gonna be our 4 crore retention. Or else again, it's gonna be someone like Abdul Samad.
Yeah.
But Nitish Kumar Reddy, he is a talent to look out for sure. He
Mhm.
was batting at number 6, but then somewhere out of somewhat, Nitish Kumar Reddy was promoted to number 4, and there you saw the change of the batting lineup completely. Right, the top 5, the top 6, it's been extraordinary, and that's where he saw those big scores coming in. And I would say there was no pressure with him being in as well as a local
True that.
boy, right? He's gotten used to the conditions pretty well. He's gotten a good understanding of what the game might be in the IPL. So yeah, he's a good talent to look out for. One thing I would say is, if he does get that improvement on his bowling, because Bhuvi is in the Bhuvi we know as of now, in the domestic cricket, he's a swing bowler. So if he
Yeah.
does just improve on that in the white ball sector as well, maybe you could have him maybe as a second or third pacer, because he will be staying with us for a pretty long time, in my opinion.
He will be staying with us with a pretty long time. So you have gone with somebody. in the right to match card. If you're saying for Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, fair enough. So I'll bring in the rest of the people as well. Sunrisers Hyderabad players pick themselves, and I think Varun has gone with 3 overseas. That's good. But Rohan, starting with you, last season we saw that Hyderabad was a belter to bat on. Records were broken for fun. 270, 280 getting scored. I think it was not a T20 game anymore. But now you're saying now he's gone with just Cummings as the bowler. Is somebody like a Natarajan overlooked as one of the underrated bowlers?
Yeah, man. Along with Bhuvi, Nattu, I think both these guys have been unsung heroes for them. Time and time, even though like couple of overs they may have got expensive, but they do know how to come back at the fag end of the T20 over game and finish off with those Yorkers and basically give that Sunrisers total a good chance to defend, which they are very good at always Sunrisers.
Mm-hmm.
So I think these two guys have been legends for them for the last few years. For definitely, irrespective of the conditions, they may be susceptible at times on certain condition grounds, but overall they have been champions for these two guys. Yeah, injury and what do you call the fitness can be a question mark, but once fit, I think those two guys are key along with the Cummins to come good for the bowling unit, because that's been a weak link for Sunrisers throughout the bowling
Correct.
attack. Even though they have scored 260, 280, they have chased also. It means they have conceded that much as well. So that is a liability for them. So if experienced bowlers are there, Sunrisers can always defend better.
So you're saying that experience is required in the Sunrisers unit despite picking so many players. Orko, we have the World Test Championship final next year in the month of June probably or the May, and probably it's on the cards to be in India, Australia. Can Pat Cummings play spoil sport and rule him out of the auctions as well?
Mm.
Well, it could be. That's a fair point, but I think he would also remember that if he makes himself unavailable, he won't be available for 2 more years. So I think
Mhm.
he needs to tell about his availability now itself, not wait until the auctions and pull out before that or after that. So that will be a big concern, which I think SRH would address because he's not just an important player but the captain as well. So a lot of things lie on that. I know that their retentions are pretty easy to make. You can easily select a top five, top six out of it. But if Cummins is there or not there for that matter, the equation changes altogether.
Okay, but Gurpalji, if Cummings doesn't stay, is behind him Travis Head following him too?
No, I don't think so. Travis Head will definitely play. Even Cummins will also play. I don't think see any reason why they both don't play the IPL. Recently, they have played the MLC as well, and after that, Cummins they have taken a break from the international cricket. And being T20 World Cup will be happen in India in 2026, don't see any reason if he will be a part of that team. Would love to have a bit of match experience in India for the IPL, as you know. And other thing, for if you ask my picks, I have picked Klassen as the number one retention, then Abhishek Sharma, and third is Nitish Kumar Reddy. Pat Cummins
Okay.
I didn't pick because they may get Pat Cummins at a lesser price. What they got in mini
You
auction,
really think
in
so?
mega auction, I mean yes, mini auction, mega auction, total dynamics totally changes. So at that time they wanted a captain as well.
There
So they
comes
may
the
get
counter
Pat
answer.
Cummins.
I want to hear a little bit from the SRH fan. Varun, do you really think mega auction, the price tag has increased? You're not getting a 120 crore. Will Cummings, if he goes to the auction, will be at a cheaper rate?
For experienced all rounders, I don't think it'll go down because if you see Chris Morris, if you see Glenn Maxwell in the previous auction, they got what 14, 15, 16, 17 crores as well. And if Pat Cummins went for 20 in the mini auction, he might as well just go for 17, 18, 19 in the mega auction. That's my expectations. Him being a captain, right? Him being a crunch bowler, and even he can be handy with the bat. Forget all about this. He's a true leader of a team, right? And the change he brought into the Sunrisers side, that just says a lot about him. And if he goes into the auction, I think it's pretty hard to get him back,
True
right?
that. But
So
talking about Deepu, coming to you for the one final time for the Sunrisers Hyderabad, Nitish Kumar Reddy, Abhishek Sharma, two uncapped players already there in the list for Varun. So no more uncapped can be taken in the right to match card. So does that mean somebody like an Abdul Samad misses out from the squad?
Well, in mega auctions, he has to, because in the last 2 years, I think he wasn't that effective. To be honest, we know what he did in 2020, but and comparing with that season to the last 2 years, even I think Varun would agree that he has not shown his potential. To be honest, so I think it's better that it's time to shift base and get better opportunities somewhere else.
Okay, but I think just like we said it in the before show as well, I just forgot it for a while. Abhishek Sharma has an international 100 as well for us. So Abhishek Sharma is no more an uncapped player; he's just the capped. So now my counter question once again back to you, Deepu, is Abdul Samad can be a potential retention for number 6, or somebody going away from that, not to Washington Sundar? Are they on the cards as well?
I think they'll go for Natarajan, to be honest, because they need a bowler. Pat Cummins again, he's there, but he's the lone seamer, to be honest. As comparing with the pace bracket as well, with Nitish Kumar not being that quick, so I think Natarajan can be an option, and he did really well, to be honest, and especially against the Delhi game, to be honest. So I feel that he can be there. I think for Samad, I think it's better that he looks for opportunities elsewhere.
Okay, so he might look for opportunity elsewhere. So Sunrisers Hyderabad, I think not much complicated. It was just icing on the cake when the retentions were announced of no limitations, to be honest. So we move on to the next team, and a team that created madness last time around when they defeated Chennai Super Kings, courtesy of Yash Dayal versus Mahendra Singh Dhoni in the streets of Bengaluru. They are dying for an IPL trophy, Rohan, I must tell you. The retentions are there. Mega auction is time. Virat Kohli is still playing an IPL season. Do you think this is the year for the Royal Challengers Bangalore?
I think you said it, Pritham. This is the 18th edition of the IPL, and number 18 may just strike it this
Oh,
time.
there you go. Okay.
It's not always just 7. 18 also can be a reason.
8 minus 1 is also 7, I must
Yes.
tell you. But yes, you might go on. So, are you taking this into a positive account, negative account, or you're going with a challenge you're ready for it as a Bangalore fan?
Pritham, see, always RCB since the day of inception always been this hyped up team with global superstars in there. But just that they have not delivered at the right time, or maybe flattered to DC also because of some questionable picks during the auctions,
Mhm.
not focusing on the core strength of the team, which is the complete departments. I think that's where they've been lacking. But last 3-4 years, there's been consistency. They're qualified to a playoff regularly. I think all this has been learning lessons from the past. I feel it is about time. I think they deliver. They have some good signings last year, though luckily because of the help of Mumbai Indians, whatever help we got and they got as well. So I think these kind of things kind of help the balance of the team. But Virat Kohli definitely, I think he's been a champion player, man. Irrespective of whichever team he plays for, I think you want to see just like how we won the T20 World
No,
Cup for
no,
a
no, no.
Rohit
You
or a
cannot say that. You cannot say that. Virat has to be for Mangalore. It's not going to be possible in the planet Earth. But before we move on to the rest of the 4 players, I'm sure you've picked 5. Let's take a look into the retention picks of Royal Challengers Bangalore for Rohan and myself. I've gone with 4, while you have gone with 5. Virat, Siraj, Green, Will Jacks, and Rajat Patidar. Talk us through your picks and the reason behind. You've not gone with somebody like a Yash Dayal. You've gone with Rajat Patidar. Is he the next future after Virat Kohli? Because he's the second leading highest run scorer, if I'm not wrong, for the Royal Challengers Bangalore as an Indian. So do you think that Rajat Patidar has to stay for the Royal Challengers Bangalore because he's the next best after Virat Kohli?
Definitely, because he has done well in the opportunities that he has got. He's a good player of spin bowling, especially in Indian domestic cricket. We do need, like in the middle order, who can play and tackle spin well with the big hits, as we have seen regularly from Patidar. I think so. He is the next top guy with the bat, apart from Virat, and Virat will be opening, I think, as usual. So someone in the middle order to take care of the middle overs is equally important. And for me, Cam Green, the amount that's been invested on him last time, I think he has delivered pretty well for
Mhm.
that price tag. Being an all-rounder, as it's a luxury these days, can bat at the top order and chip in with a few overs. That will be also his key role. Will Jacks, I was a bit skeptical, but last season he did do well in the limited chance that he came in for a Maxwell. So I think that's where a slight edge was tilted towards him. Siraj, I think he's pretty much a Bangalore boy for us as much as he's an
Siraj
Hyderabadi.
without Virat Kohli is nothing, I must tell you. So if
Yeah, it's,
Virat
it's a
Kohli you're picking,
complimentary thing.
it's a complimentary thing. Absolutely. So players pick themselves for RCB. I think they should be happy with this 5, I must tell you. But I bring on the other 4 people as well into the show. This is a very, very interesting team. Royal Challengers Bangalore. Orko, I think it's time we move on from Glenn Maxwell to somebody like a Will Jacks now in the IPL season.
Absolutely, and I think it's not just Maxwell, but even Fab du Plessis for that matter. And I think if you want someone to pair with Virat Kohli in the opening, I think Will Jacks would perfectly fit in the bill because he has been doing a lot of opening in the recent past, even in the recently concluded South Africa T20 League, even in the English, the 100 that recently happened. He's someone who does play in the top order or even in the opening for that matter. And he also gives you a bit of bowling, which will be useful in the recently sluggish track that we have seen a bit in Chinnaswamy. So he may be a handful in that regard also, and he's young. So you need to groom such players from a young age, to make them such superstars in the past, and you should not regret letting them go like they have done in the past already. So I think Jacks would be a very useful retention, not just to look beyond Maxwell, but also Fab du Plessis.
Okay, Varun, I'll come to you to ask this question just because I've already done the Kolkata Knight Riders and we have already seen the picks for the Orco as well. He says about the Englishman, he says about the 100, and Royal Challengers Bangalore do need a wicket-keeper opener. What if they sneak in and steal Phil Salt all the way from the Kolkata Knight Riders?
See, there are a lot of options when you come to overseas wicket keepers. From Australia, you have Josh Inglis, right? And from England, you have Phil Salt and you have Ben Duckett. There's a lot of options. And even from Afghanistan, maybe Gurbaz also might be available, right? If KKR maybe don't use their RTM card. So there's a lot of options. It's just not Phil Salt, but surely he might be a good option, right? For a batting track, short boundaries, Phil Salt is a perfect man to go there as well.
Okay, Phil Salt is a perfect man to do that. Deepu, coming to you, is RCB going to do something special this time around in the auction table?
That's something expected of them, to be honest. Be it the mega auction, be it the mini auction. So yeah, there will be some rockets coming up from that camp. So yeah, it's not surprising if RCB do something special, to be honest.
Okay, and Gurpalji, any add-ons when it comes to the Royal Challenges Bangalore from your end?
I guess I love the picks of Rohan. Yesterday I also picked the same team, same five picks. But when the price tag came, so I deleted couple of players and to whom to give what amount, to whom to give what amount. It will be interesting to see what RCB, how in what scenario they will pick the players. Like number one, who will be number one pick, who will be number two, number three, number four, five, and vice versa. As per the interesting thing, RCB can go for quite a few wicket keepers. Ishan Kishan, they solve their openers problem and a wicket keepers problem. KL Rahul, three-dimensional player, wicket keeper, captain, and and
I'm
opening
sure you
batsman.
have watched the Duleep Trophy very closely at the Chinnaswamy Stadium because
And third
KL
third
Rahul.
option could be Dhruv. Third option could be Dhruv Jurel as well. So they can go for Dhruv
Okay.
Jurel, but they must retain Yash Dayal. Yash Dayal in good form. They must retain Yash Dayal uh, for sure because they
I
need
think that
bowling.
can be
Okay.
used as an
Don't
RTM,
forget
I
they
feel,
were.
Paji.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yes, there are bowlers are must. Don't forget of buying the batsman only. You need to have bowlers at Chinnaswamy as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Absolutely, and I think that's where Royal Challengers Bangalore will not be much disappointed, but fasten our seatbelts, folks, because just like it was complicated for the Kolkata Knight Riders. It was icing on the cake for the Sunrisers Hyderabad. I think it's double icing on the cake for the Mumbai Indians because it was the biggest controversy for them to pick their players. And I think I welcome Orko to the show. Orko, does it answer all the rumors, all the questions that all the big guns will be there in the retentions?
Well, certainly, it looks like the rules have been structured in a way in which people like the Mumbai Indians, or for that matter, because CSK really want Dhoni to stay as long as he can, these rules are pretty much structured to benefit these two franchises, and I would say more so Mumbai Indians because they, as the name suggests of the team, they have a bunch of Indians who are worth retaining. Almost all of them, you can say, if they make 5 to 6 retentions, not keep any RTM at all, they can use it all on Indian players only. So I think it's a rule that certainly benefits them and they can retain whoever they want. Even if they want to go for uncapped picks, they can go for like Naman Dheer or Nehal Vadera or Anshul Kamboj or
Hmm.
Akash Madwal or even the superstars for that matter like Rohit,
Yeah,
Sky, Kishan, Bumrah, and we'll talk about that, of course.
absolutely. So let's not go too dig deep into the Mumbai Indians team, but let's firstly have a look into the players that we have picked. I have picked and Orko is picked. Here is the Mumbai Indians retention list. Well. I hope I'm seeing it correct as well. Both of us have gone with the same. Both of us has gone with Ishan Kishan as well as your uncapped player for sure, Orko.
Well, if not Kishan, they may look at Tilak Verma as well because, of course, he is someone who can bat anywhere, can give a bit of bowling as well, and Mumbai do rate him pretty highly. Maybe they may look at Tilak Verma for that reason, but the simple reason why I thought of Kishan is because recently he's not been in contract, and if you look at the vocabulary that has been used, if he does end up being an uncapped retention, if you get a young Indian keeper who can bat anywhere and of course give you some keeping as well, I think they would want to keep him for a meager 4 crore and maybe look to use the RTM card for someone like Tilak Verma. So that's why I prefer Kishan as of now if he stays as an uncapped player. If not, then maybe they will look at someone else like a Nehal Vadera or someone like that.
I think it's a bargain if you get somebody like an Ishan Kishan's quality for just 4 crore, to be honest. I bring in the rest of the people because this is a franchise. We have to discuss a lot of things, a lot of ups and downs, Rohan. If you remember the leaked footage at the Eden Gardens last season around where Rohit Sharma said this could be and this will be my last season. Orko, meanwhile, along with me, I have to add my name as well. Orko and me have added Rohit Sharma part of this retention list. Is this something that has benefited Mumbai Indians the most?
I think Orko rightly said, man. At the end of the day, the BCCI and the Indian uh, advertisement brand is huger than anyone. So all these players, MS, Rohit, Virat, all these guys go hand in hand. The longer they play, the more revenue comes in. So definitely a Rohit playing will be, and he's always been a Mumbai boy. I think it's a homecoming for him about a decade ago when he came in and started winning titles for them. I think that's when Rohit's level has gone 10 times far for sure. So I think Rohit being in Mumbai Indians, irrespective of which number that he's got at, I think he'll always be a Mumbai Indian boy for sure. It's just that the other guys in a Surya or a Bumrah, etc., these guys will be the ones who will be the next ones, but Rohit will be there. Not sure if he plays the entire season or all games, may take a break here and there, keeping the WTC final in mind as well, but definitely he'll be in the retention for sure.
Okay, Gurpal ji. Now there are more complications in the side of Mumbai Indians. You have the Test captain in there who must be retained as per all of you. You have the T20 captain as well, and you have the Mumbai Indians captain as well. Who is your leader for the Mumbai Indians next season?
I think there is no nothing complications. As per my concern, Mumbai Indians is the only team who can go for all the six players. All the six players
All
with their
six,
coach.
all Indians.
All Indians, they have the muscle, they have the power because they always love to flourish money on the Indian players, whether Ishan Kishan or in the past we have seen. So my straightaway is Bumrah 18 crore, Surya Kumar 14 crore plus captaincy. Then Tilak
Oh,
Verma or
there you
Ishan
go.
Kishan 11 crore. Tilak Verma or Ishan Kishan 11 crore. Or one would be used as a RTM. Then Hardik Pandya 18 crore because we are taking captaincy from him, then giving 18 crore to Hardik Pandya. Fifth will be Rohit Sharma with 14 crore. And RTM can be used on Tilak Verma. Ishan Kishan I will have 11 crore because I want a wicket keeper. क्योंकि विकेट कीपर अंदर आएगा सब उसके पीछे भागेंगे. So Mumbai won't leave
So
Ishan
Ishan
Kishan
Kishan is
for
an so Ishan Kishan doesn't have a contract with the BCCI, so you can easily have him part of your uncapped player list as well. But Varun, very interesting. He has given the captaincy now to Surya Kumar Yadav after 1 year, one complete season of Hardik Pandya getting booed and then winning you the World Cup in the final over. Surya Kumar Yadav taking the blinder of a catch. Let's not go back to that moment. To be honest, we will be all be emotional, but is it the right decision to go back to Surya Kumar Yadav as your Mumbai Indians captain?
See, the Mumbai crowd might have booed Hardik during the IPL, but when they came back for the celebrations, everybody was cheering
Correct.
for him, right?
Absolutely.
So I think Hardik, Surya, the captaincy should not change, right? The players stay in the team, and the team should just continue with the captain that they had. Don't make the same mistake that we did, changing captains every 1 year, right? Keep going. He's an Indian player. He's an Indian captain. He's already won a title, right? He had a good team. Now build another good team for the Mumbai Indians, and that's where the mega auction comes in. You got superb six retentions with you. I don't see how Mumbai Indians can fail with this kind of team and with the kind of purse they'll go in, the kind of minds they have as well, right? Going into the mega auction, they'll be superb, right? So I don't think there is any reason to change the captaincy. Surya might have captained the series, right? The
Mhm.
T20I series, but still, when Hardik is the captain of a side, you just keep him.
Okay, so you're keeping Hardik Pandya. Deepu, Gurpalji says that more money should be given to Hardik Pandya. 18 crore is what he has given the price slab, 14 to Rohit. Is it fair enough for you?
Well, to be honest, yes. Reasons being Rohit is now retired from T20s, and he'll just be playing for fun. To be honest, because he himself stated that he has not yet retired in his mind. But I feel
Mhm.
it's important that that price tag should be there, and I have a feeling too that maybe we can say, maybe it's the mindset of Rohit Sharma too, that you know how the way Mumbai treated him. Maybe he cannot be in that list as well. According to me, I wouldn't have
Correct.
taken him in that list. So yeah, it's the
You
mindset as
wouldn't
well,
have
and
taken. Finally, I was waiting for someone to say the same.
I wouldn't
That
have
he
taken
doesn't
him.
want Rohit Sharma in the team. So if Rohit Sharma goes to the auction, 25 crore plus.
Well, as long as if
Ask
he's
LSG.
joining Delhi, I don't mind whatever the price tag is. I want a better
Okay,
opener.
so now so you're going a little bit selfish towards Deepu when it comes to Rohit Sharma. But Mumbai Indians pick themselves. Controversy there, but we've gone with a little bit of captaincy change as well when it comes to the Mumbai Indians. Done and dusted with this side. I think this was the most complicated because so many star players. But we move on to the next because Varun a while ago said that inaugural champion for the Gujarat Titans was Hardik Pandey. He was the captain. Now moving to Mumbai Indians. So it's a new leader who was last season, Shuman Gill, and it's the Gujarat Titans, Paji. A team I think has been down under the radar, to be honest. Have to pick up their success. What are your thoughts? Will Gujarat Titans be happy with what has happened in the retentions?
Yes, they would be happy. That they would be more happy that Nehra and Vikram Solanki they are staying with the management. So they are staying there for sure. There were rumors that the Nehra might shift or Vikram Solanki
Yeah,
also
Nera
might
will
shift,
leave.
but
Yeah.
they would be much happy that Nehra and Vikram Solanki will be there. Apart and the management is changing. The management, the owners are changing, but the core of the team, the coaches, the coaching staff would be there for sure. And Nehra, we know how he operates and the way Vikram Solanki, they have that camaraderie which will help the Gujarat Titans team and Shubman Gill as well, whom they are seeing the future leader for them as well as
Yeah.
for the Indian team as well.
So the Prince is the future of the Indian team for the Gujarat Titans as well. Let's have a look into the picks Gurpal Paji alongside me have taken for the Gujarat Titans. Here it is. I've gone with 4, while you have gone with 3. Shubman Gill, Rashid Khan, and Mohammad Shami. So no uncapped in your list. So you're going with 3 right to match cards, Paji. What's your thought on that?
Simple as short. Shuman Gill is, as you know, he's a bumper season last 2 years with the Gujarat Titans, and he's a informed player. He has a wonderful international career as well so far in the white ball cricket, especially when it comes we say about what Rashid Khan. You know, he's a world class bowler, a champion bowler, match winner on his day. Shami, what we know what he can do with his swing in Ahmedabad, and then ground conditions
Absolutely.
suits him as well. So I've literally taken 3 match winners, one my opener and a captain, then an world class spinner with a all rounder hitting abilities, and Shami, the world class bowler.
Mhm.
So rest of all, I can do use my RTMs as well. And for uncapped player, I may think for Kartik Tyagi, but as of now, I wanted to keep the purse as well with me.
Okay.
So that is the
Fair
only
enough. So
reason
you're going with
because
a big money. You've gone with 3 match winners, I must tell you. Shuman Gill, Rashid Khan, and you have Mohammad Shami. 3 departments,
exactly.
3 key players. So I think you have gone with a good core, but 3 right to match cards, which is interesting to see. I want to bring in all the 4 guests into the show. And just like we discussed about the Delhi Capitals, Orko, and we said about Abhishek Porel being a no brainer at 4 crores, Ishan Kishan, uncapped no brainer, 4 crores. Did Paji miss out on not having somebody like a Rahul Tewatia for 4 crores?
Well, Tewatia might also be an option, and if not him, they may even look at someone like Shahrukh for that matter, or even Abhinav Manohar for that matter. They have a bunch of good Indian players who can, bat in the lower order and, back them. Of course, they even have someone like Sai Sudarshan, and I think, as
Exactly.
Paji said, they might want to look at him as an RTM option because he's already capped. So they do have a bunch of good Indian lads to back, maybe even ahead of Kartik Tyagi. They may look to back someone like Tewatia or Shahrukh or Manohar. So yes, Gujarat do have a lot of options, and if they keep their RTMs open and retain fewer players, then they certainly can choose among a lot of them.
Okay, so you've given three options, I must tell you, Rohan. Orko has said three options. Which one are you going for? Do you once again think that somebody like a Rahul Tewatia, Sai Sudarshan, if they go under the hammer, they might just go up more than 4 crores?
I agree, definitely, because Sai Sudarshan has been a quality player for them coming through the ranks, an opener as well as a number three, which is a pivotal position. I think the experience he has in the county cricket recently has helped him become a better player of pace and spin quality. So he is one option, and definitely Abhinav Manohar, as Orko said, power hitter down the order, same skill set like a Shah Rukh Khan, but I think Manohar has slightly better against both the kind of bowling because Shah Rukh is primarily a good hitter of spinners. So I think Ahmedabad having a bit more extra pace and bounce, or at times sluggish nature, I think Abhinav can be a slightly better pick ahead of Shah Rukh. But overall, I think it's a good strategy. Someone like Mohit Sharma was done pretty well for them. He's also an option as an uncapped, I feel, for GT.
Yeah, there are a lot of options, I must tell you. Sai Sudarshan was part. He can be an capped player, I must tell you. Varun, coming to
Yes.
you. Rahul Tewatia, what a player he was for the Rajasthan Royals. Moved on to Gujarat Titans, was playing those finisher knocks. Do you agree with the picks? Gurpal Paji has gone with three right to match cards. Is that going to benefit somebody like a Gujarat Titans or not?
I think in my list, I personally had a Rahul Tewati. I don't think he would come for less than 4 crores at all, so that's why
Correct.
I picked him. But I heard that there's also another rule which says if a team buys one of your players or something and you get an extra RTM card, is that true?
No, so if it's more the amount, you can bargain. So if
Okay,
that's for the next auction, that's for the next auction for the overseas slot. So
okay,
if it goes more than that and you buy him for an ITM, the team that buys the eventually
right,
gets an RTM slot. That's
okay.
for the next time because it's very complicated. I must tell you. Let's
Yeah.
focus on the 2025 mega auction, and that's where I come into you. If you are going for an RTM, if somebody else goes for somebody like Rahul Tewate, you can have one chance to challenge it and increase the budget.
Right.
So if you think you're going for somebody like a Sai Sudarshan capped, Rahul Tewatia uncapped, are you risking them to be going on under the hammer? Because they are underrated but very good in domestic conditions,
Right.
might just go into the double digits as well if required.
I think Rahul Tewati, he might not go to the double digits. I'm expecting him to stay in the 6 to 8 crore range. But if talking about retaining Sai Sudarshan, he's not 18, 14, or 11 crores, right? So you would get him for much, much cheaper. I would say in the same range, 6 to 8 crores. There's a lot of Indian batsmen, there's a lot of overseas batsmen that any team can select. And being a Sai Sudarshan, I think it's pretty easy for Gujarat Titan for a much cheaper
Oh,
price than what the retention caps are.
okay, final question to you, Deepu. Deepu, do you think everything goes well for this side? Moving on to the auction table, does the Gujarat Titans have enough quality in their retention groups that they would not worry because they have not picked somebody like a David Miller? Do you think if Shah Rukh Khan, I beg your pardon, if Shah Rukh Khan goes under the hammer, somebody Chennai Super Kings for sure will eye on?
Oh yeah, to be honest, Chennai can go for him because being a local lad and obviously what performances were expected from Shah Rukh, he didn't deliver it, be it for Punjab or even for Gujarat this season. So I think Shah Rukh can come at a cheaper price, to be honest, and Chennai are obviously looking for an off spinner as well and someone who can bat low down. So yeah, there can be a few of the Gujarat players, can get big bucks.
Okay, fair enough. So I think the Gujarat Titans as well, they're going with a little bit of strategized squad, I must tell you. Strategized retentions as picked by Gurpal Paji. Might just see the same when it comes to Ashish Nair. I must tell you, he's a fantastic person that reads the game, to be very honest, fantastically. But moving on to next team, it's the Lucknow Super Giants last year, Deepu, in the last season at Hyderabad. Hyderabad openers chased down the target in less than 10 overs, and we saw a massive argument taking at the edge of the boundary fence. And we thought that was the end of KL Rahul. And earlier in the previous couple of months before, we saw Chennai Super Kings chase down the target in less than 10 overs. And we thought that was the end of KL Rahul. And earlier in the previous couple of months before, we saw Chennai Super Kings chase down the target in less than 10 overs. Are we there?
Yeah.
Shall I repeat the question? I think I said that we saw a massive fight between Goenka and KL Rahul in the last season at Hyderabad. but still we saw them clicking a picture earlier this year. So do you think KL Rahul stays with the Lucknow Super Giants this season as well?
That I feel that is still a mystery, to be honest, because looking at the scenes that happened at Hyderabad to 2 months, cut to 2 months now, I feel a lot of things have changed. Obviously, the emotions have changed and all that stuff has changed. But I feel, coming to the logical point of thing, I think maybe KL has played his last for Lucknow and he might be going somewhere else. That's what I believe. And but in terms of captaincy, I feel that's a sure short thing that he won't be there as the leader, maybe as a batter.
Wow, so
So,
that's
yeah, a
very
lot of
interesting from
combinations
your
are
end.
coming. Yep.
We'll first of all, as you said, Kale should not be there. I would just want to sneak a little look into what are your retention picks. Have you really not gone with somebody like a Kale Rahul? Let's take a look into the picks made by Deepu and myself for the Lucknow Super Giants. Wow, so your five is Nicholas Puran, Ravi Bishnoi, Marcus Stoinis, Mayank Yadav, the speed star, and Arshad Khan. I'll go with the fifth one. Surely you're uncapped. You're going with two uncapped players. Talk us through the reason behind you're going with somebody out of the box, just like Gurpal Paji. You also said earlier, Gurpal Paji said Rasik Dar for the Delhi Capitals. Similarly, Arshad Khan for the Lucknow Super Giants. Thoughts behind that, please?
Uh, I think he has got that quality, to be honest. He can bat lower down and obviously a left arm seamer. So, in terms of the India perspective, I also am looking a bit. He has got that quality, and if I point out the games as well, I think against Delhi twice he did really well. I think he first injured David Warner and then he got him out, and then got JFM as well in the return fixture. And along with that, he batted really well, to be honest, in both the games against us. And also, he was really good in patches. Mayank Yadav obviously needs no introduction, so he is a short shot.
Absolutely.
So, I think their uncapped players did really well. To be honest, if there was a third option, I could have even gone with Mohsin or a Yash Thakur as well. So yeah, I
Or
think
even an Ayush Badoni, I must tell you.
yeah.
So there are a lot of options taken. But are you going with somebody like a Nicholas Puran as your highest paid player in the retentions?
Yeah, I'm going with him. Off late, he has done really well in the last 2 seasons for Lucknow and obviously for West Indies as well. He has improved a lot as a batter. He has got that thinking brain in himself. He has led the West Indies as well for a brief period. So, yeah, I think he'll be by top retention.
Okay, I'll bring in the rest of the four people as well for a quick chat when it comes to Lucknow Super Giants. Let's start with Rohan. Rohan, he's gone with Arshad Khan. He needs a lefty. Why not somebody a little bit more experienced in the IPL format, Mohsin Khan?
I think Mohsin did well in the recent UP T20 as well. I think he has a big more experience and skill set. Arshad is still pretty raw. I think Mohsin Khan can be your better bet compared to Arshad. But in case I'm telling you, all eyes are on the Lucknow camp. If they don't retain KL, welcome to RCB.
Okay, there you go. So everyone has their own strategies. Gurpal Paji, do you like the strategy when it comes to Rohan saying that if in case he goes in the auction table, welcome to RCB? Are you also saying welcome to Delhi Capitals too?
KL Rahul? No, I'm with done with the Rohan only. Because I already mentioned KL Rahul KL Rahul will be targeted by RCB. Because he solves the three problems: captain, wicket keeper, and top order batsman. So I'm with Rohan in this thing.
Okay, so you're going with agreeing. So I think all of us have watched the Duleep Trophy really closely because the Chinnaswamy was filled with the KL Rahul chants, I must tell you, Orko. So what are your thoughts when it comes to the picks made by Deepu? Somebody like an Ayush Badoni misses out. Is Mayank Yadav a sure shot when it comes to uncapped 4 crore? Or is it too early to speak about him as well?
No, I think they can look to groom him because I don't think that it's a very big amount. And if you look at the current national scenario, I don't think there's anyone who has that kind of pace. Maybe somewhere around Umran Malik had that, but he's lost somewhere. So I think they would want to groom Mayank Yadav because he has also shown a lot of accuracy in his line and length, apart from being just very pacey. So if he's fit enough, I think he'll be a good prospect for them. And they have groomed him over the years. Vijay Dahiya sir in the past brought him into the camp and backed him for like 2 years, even when he was injured. And I think that's what they would look to do. And they have a plan with regard to him, and they're just going to keep him for a long time, maybe as of now.
Okay, so the big news from this franchisee is a couple of people or more are saying KL Rahul won't be part of this franchise. One of them, right in the right corner of your screen as saying, "Welcome to RCB." So fair enough. We're done with the Lucknow Super Giants. Before we move on, one last time, Gurpal Paji, over to you for the Lucknow Super Giants.
I just have one question for the whole panel. With Zahir Khan as the head of cricket for LSG, so we may see they may be retaining only Mayank Yadav and Ayush Biruni as uncapped and can go with a larger purse and then can go all out in the auction. Just
So do
a
you
question from my side.
there comes before I give it to the rest of the four people, do you really think him himself being a left arm seamer, he will let go Mohsin Khan, as Deepu mentioned, he will let go Arshad Khan? I'll just ask on behalf of every one of you, I'll just ask Rohan the answer.
No, man. I think Mohsin should be there in the retention. He's a quality guy, has proven well. But for me, someone like Ayush Badoni also is a good bet for them because the finisher role and balls a bit of off spin as well. I think a very important cock to be filled up in any kind of a 11. So I think Ayush Badoni also can be a good. But Zahir, I think as a mentor, will definitely give them a upper hand because his experience with Mumbai Indians that he had. I think LSG will definitely benefit, especially the
Aye.
local domestic players.
Absolutely. You mentioned about Mosi in the UPT20. I must tell you, Delhi Premier League as well. Ayush Badoni, what a talent! He was opening at the top of the order. He was scoring hundreds for fun. So I must tell you. So that's where you must have to look into more uncapped players. We're done and dusted with the Lucknow Super Giants, ladies and gentlemen. Over to the penultimate team, and it's the Rajasthan Royals, the team that won the inaugural season of the IPL under the leadership of late Shane Warne. But now comes the Rajasthan Royals. Fantastic unit, kept the core till the last season. Is the core getting broken this time around, Varun?
The main core isn't going anywhere, right? Since the rules have been said that there is no limit on Indians or overseas players, and you can retain up to five plus the one RTM. I don't think it's going anywhere. The main players are gonna stay, and the Rajasthan Royal fans are gonna be pretty happy this time around.
Okay, so fair enough. Let's take a look into the retentions, ladies and gentlemen, for the Rajasthan Royals made by Varun and myself. So here it is. If I look, both of us gone with the same, just one change. You have gone with a future star, Rian Parag, while I've gone with Trent Bolt. Talk us through the reason behind going with somebody like a Rian Parag. Are you seeing him, somebody like RCB has Rajat Patidar and the rest of the things have them groomed around? Are you seeing Rian Parag the perfect fit for the Rajasthan Royals at number 4?
I think Rian Parag, Rajasthan Royals have trusted him for a very, very long time, right? And finally, he's given some promise. He's finally performed, and he's also made his debut for India, right? He's been bowling, he's been batting. I think he's a all-round package at least now, since he's starting to improve a lot, right? And for what I think he's worth, I think yeah, you can put maybe 11 crores on him, maybe.
Mhm.
The reason I didn't go with Trent Bolt is because just like Bhuvneshwar Kumar for the Sunrisers, Trent Bolt isn't the way that he used to be, right?
Okay.
Sure, he might be pretty
So
threatening.
now
Like,
is he be surprised? I'm sorry to interrupt,
yeah.
but now has he been surpassed by somebody like an Andre Burger?
Nandre Burger as well, he's still pretty young. I haven't seen much of him yet, but he's a pretty good talent from South Africa as well. But I wouldn't say he's on Trent Bolt level just yet. But I didn't pick Trent Bolt because he's just not the same that he was, maybe you can say 3, 4, 5 years ago. And he hasn't been making that much of an impact with the ball, right? He might be threatening once you see his name on the screen, once you see him just swing his arm with the ball. But I think for other than KL Rahul, I don't really see him being much threatening like he was before. So that's why I've gone with a young man like Riyan Parag.
Okay, I think the rest of the players pick themselves, including the captain himself. I'll bring in the other 3 members in this out here as well, including Orko. Orko, before we move on to the Rajasthan Royals as a core, how has been Sanju Samson the leader for the Rajasthan Royals over the years?
Well, he has been pretty good, and I think that they have just not gone to the trophy just yet, and it's pretty sad given the kind of team composition they had. And he has also led the team pretty well. So I think sooner than later that will come. And now they even have someone like Rahul Dravid, a World Cup winning coach, who is in the helm as well. So with Sangha, with Rahul Dravid and Samson, I think they're going to make a very good combination and perhaps look to get the team to where they have been dreaming of.
Absolutely, a management that to look out for, because we are always focusing on Stephen Fleming for CSK. It was Gautam Gambhir till last season for the Kolkata Knight Riders. Mumbai Indians have a great combination of the management, but this one is right on the cards. But Deepu, coming to you, similar question: is Trent Bolt not a continuous 3-year player just because he's not playing international duties anymore?
I think in terms of fast bowlers, with Bolt, he's currently in the back end of his career. He has announced his retirement as well from T20. He's played his last T20 World Cup. So I think yes, he's not a three-cycle player anymore. As what Varun just concluded, that what he was 5 6 years ago, he's not that similar kind of a caliber as of now. I think in terms of him, that they have a better option in Andre Berger. Obviously, he's a work in progress, but still, I
Exactly.
think in terms of pace, what he can offer at Jaipur. So I think yeah, he's a better option as compared to Trent Bolt in today's time.
Okay, but Varun has gone with somebody like Riyan Parag. I wouldn't be surprised if the other of you have gone with the same as well. But Gurpalji, Riyan Parag, as somebody Rajasthan Royals have massively backed, and I won't be surprised if he gets picked as well. No more an uncapped player, I must tell you. He brings a lot to the table with the bat, with the ball. His shot selection is something that needs to be looked into. How much is he worth for? Is he going into the third bracket of 11 crores?
I don't think so. 11 crore is would be too high for Riyan Parag, and you have to ask Mr. Dravid. Mr. Dravid with the best decider of how to use Riyan Parag, because I think with the RR, what we have seen when they won the trophy under the great Shane Warne, they started off slowly, then they
Mm-hmm.
peaked up later part of the tournament. And what's happening nowadays? They start off very well, but after the later part of the tournament, they're not finishing it well. So
Mm-hmm.
they need what they want. They need a finishing finisher like a kind of a charismatic character like Hardik Pandya or something, a fast bowling, big hitting all rounder rather than spinner. They are either relying on Hitmire or Powell, which are those are inconsistent. So they're not finishing the matches regularly. So they need
Okay.
a fast bowling all rounder finisher. I guess that will solve their problem. And I guess Rahul Dravid being at the helm as a coach, and he has tasted the success as a World Cup winning coach. He will have his plans for him as well.
Okay, fair enough. So you have gone with a little bit of different when it comes to Rajasthan Royals. Rohan, final question before we get on to the final team. That is Rajasthan Royals. Code is there as mentioned by Varun. So are we continuing to see the deadly combination of the openers, righty, lefty, Butler versus Yashasvi Jaiswal?
They both have been tremendous for them. SSV, I think we have seen in the Indian setup as well as continued that form throughout. I think
Outstanding.
he's been complimentary for Butler because Butler has been bit inconsistent. Suddenly he wakes up from a slumber and scores 100 and again disappears from nowhere. But Jaiswal has been more consistent and delivered time and again. I think these two will always be their trump cards for me.
Absolutely. So trump cards, Rajasthan Royals, they pick themselves. They keep the core as well. It's time for the final team as we move on to, and it's a very, very interesting one. Very exciting to know what Rohan has to say when it comes to the Chennai Super Kings. And where are you slotting in that man? Which is the price tag?
Price tag, I think easy, Pritham. I think this all these retention rules were waiting for only one man, and I think it's here at point number 7. And at point number 7 was the one that was delivered for the man himself.
So
I
is
feel
the point number 7 written for him?
I believe so, definitely, as all CSK fans will agree to that as well, because MSD hasn't played for Team India for last 5 years. So I think that's where the debate was whether he should be considered as capped or uncapped. I think finally it should be now official and everything should be clear for everyone that MS will be uncapped. So I think that 4 crore bracket is where he'll be going into. Helps the purse as well to bid for others, and I think. It'll be a pretty good buy for CSK in case they can go
Mhm.
for some star players with that budget they have.
Absolutely. But let's take a look into the retention picks you have made so far in the list. Let's take a look at the Chennai Super Kings and its retentions pick made by Rohan and myself. So I think you have gone with your 5 as well. Dhoni, Ruturaj, Jadeja, Patirana, and Shivam Dubey. Probably in your list, right to match card might be Samir Rizvi on the cards just because as an uncapped player, or is it somebody else?
No, Rizvi, because the form that he showed in the recent UP T20 as well, I think he kind of justified why CSK were scouting on a man like that, splurging that much of crores on him. I think he justified that, and he's a very good upcoming potential if he is right. Problem is, all their guns are at that lower down the order in MS, Jadeja. And now if Rizvi also, I think he will not get that good amount of time to do well at the top if he gets a chance. But he's a top quality lad. I think he's learning a lot from these two legends at CSK, and I think he'll only improve in the during course of the time. But the rest, I think, captaincy Gaikwad is my go-to guys. I think he'll be the top draw there, along with Jaddu. MS as we spoke about, and the others like Shivam Dubey and Patirana, because of that factor, the slog overs
Absolutely.
that has always been the deciding portion of the T20 game. Patirana gives you wickets, and wicket taking slows down the opposition as well, not just run containing. So I think Patirana will be my go-to guy as a oversleeve slot there.
Okay, so you're going with the no-brainer Patirana, debt specialist for CSK. Going on to the rest of the four people, welcome, and it's the final team we are going to discuss about. Orko, that's where I come on to you. When it comes to Rohan, has he decided his players? Patirana, debt specialist. Last year, I think another find they have got from Bangladesh, the experience of Mustafizur Rahman. Was he someone that could have once again assisted in conditions like Chennai?
Well, he could have, but I think that they don't really need to retain him because obviously he's a bowler who is pretty much out of favor, and most teams really don't look for a bowler like him, maybe because of his nativity or something. Even if he's in the auction, they would easily get him maybe at base price. So it doesn't really make sense to retain him for that much of an amount or even RTM him for that matter because I don't think he'll engage in a big bidding war for that matter. So I think they'll just let him go. But yes, when it comes to Patirana, obviously they will look to keep him for the future because he's that that Malinga kind of spice which is added to that bowling lineup, and he has done well also. So they are certainly going to keep him.
So Gurpalji, just like Rohan said, point number 7 is written probably for this man, jersey number 7. That's why in point number 7 too. But do you really think the impact player rule now been extended to 2027 is another one that needs to be considered about Mahendra Singh Dhoni?
Yes, exactly. Rohan is right, and you are also right that a point number 7 has been specially mentored or written for MSD along with the impact here because Dhoni himself said he will be definitely be want to be part of IPL 2025 if he can get an amount of up to 4 or 5 crores or maximum 6 crores. So he was not looking for 18 crores or 14 crores or being number one retention. So exactly this point, which is point number 7, is only for MS Dhoni, and he would be gladly happy with the 4 crore thing. And obviously, in the meanwhile, they can groom other players and they can groom, build the brand value by getting an Indian wicket keeper as a replacement in this auction, who could be a backup for MS Dhoni and can build a team for the future as well. And Dhoni is there to groom them as well with the impact player route. We can definitely continue for next year, maybe.
Okay, I think it answers all the questions to be honest because Mahendra Singh Dhoni will be the real focus for everyone out here, and that's the reason why 4 crores is something. It's a no-brainer to be honest because of the reason behind the uncapped list has been made. It's not, unfortunately, it has been harsh for somebody like a Sunil Narayan for the Kolkata Knight Riders, but for now we can say definitely not is on the cards, and MS Dhoni should play 2025 at the IPL as well. Thank you to all the 5 of you and all the viewers who took out time and watched this live show. We enjoyed it thoroughly. More coming our way. It's just the beginning of the IPL show, and it's spicy dramas coming all the way from you. Don't forget to subscribe to Fifth Umpire because we have the ICC Women's T20 World Cup coming up very shortly. It's getting started at the UAE as well. Don't forget to subscribe to the Fifth Umpire. Press the bell icon as well. Good night and bye bye.
Thank you. Good night.